Hi everyone, it's Thursday, March 26th. Super early in the morning. I'm recording today. Um, I am really excited to get this going. Let's start by just centering ourselves, just tuning in to what needs to be guided at this moment. Tune in what needs some guidance at this moment. Turn that energy into a question, just a nice simple question, and let's see if Spirit comes through to answer our questions this morning. Excellent. Let's get started. I'm going to share my hand. Here we go. And this is how actually my husband likes to move the cards around. He just sort of lets them go around and see which one pops out, which I find very messy. It really sort of makes me feel nervous because usually there's something on the ground. All right, well, this one stuck out to me today. We'll put it aside. This one right here stuck out to me. And this one. Oops, this one. There we go. Let's put the rest away. And I'm trying not to have it fall. Excellent. So let's check out what cards we have today. Interesting. I wanted to share a story that I have about the cube. And I am reading the book Bringers of the Dawn. And in it, it's a channeled book, by the way. And in it, she talks about knowledge being dispensed in the form of these shapes, these 3D shapes. And many years ago, I had a dream that it was really, it felt really realistic, and I still remember it to this day, like the actual scene and how I felt and every detail about the dream. But I was walking down the street, and it was really, really late at night, and at that point, I didn't recognize the street. And this alien ship, like a very quintessential, like UFO ship, like comes down, and out from the bottom, this gate opens, and I'm handed a cube. And ever since then, I have been thinking that the cube means more than just obviously a cube. And I did, for a very long time, believe that the cube and these 3D shapes have a lot of knowledge internalized in them. And I know it seems strange to say it out loud, but there's so much in there. And I started exploring sacred geometry. I started getting into nature shapes, like all the different shapes that are created in nature and the repetitive shapes in nature. So when I see the cube, I think of deep inner wisdom that is yet to be tapped into. So that is what this card always signifies to me. And when I'm looking at the bomb signifies the proximity to someone that is very volatile, and it is a warning to tread lightly in the presence of people that you knowingly know are volatile. And the cloud, or the sun behind the cloud, there's a couple of different meanings that are coming through for that symbol. And the first meaning that comes through for that symbol is that the phrase, they don't know what they don't know. So In other words, when you meet that volatile energy, when you are in presence of that volatile energy, they don't know what they don't know. So in essence, you can't get upset at them. And it reminds me of this interesting, I think it's a Buddhist story, and I don't know where I read it. I think it's Changyam Trungpa was telling a story of um, you were on a boat and it's really foggy, and out of the blue you get hit by another boat, and you immediately get so angry that because you were almost knocked off your boat, that you turn around and you're ready to yell at this person who hit you. You turn around and there's no one there in the boat. The boat is just an empty boat that was traveling very quickly, and it hit your boat. And the message behind that was that sometimes things happen, and when we don't need to assign blame, we don't need to do that. Assigning blame is, in essence, pushing the pendulum back and creating more karma. So it's advising, or the guidance behind that story is that when things happen, we don't look to see who to blame. We just allow it to absorb through us and leave. We don't hang on to it. We don't, because by assigning blame, we're in essence like keeping that energy inside of us. So all of this is very connected, as it's coming out to be, that there is a presence of someone in your life that is very volatile, and the wisdom, or the inner wisdom, or the highest wisdom that we can access, is advising us to not engage and not get embroiled, because they don't know what they don't know. And it's so important not to engage. It's so important not to get in there and continue the karma by engaging. Engaging is continuing the karma. So what I'm sensing also by looking at this reading is that non-engagement is a very powerful tool. And I'm also getting a second guidance from this card right here. And the second guidance with that is that time will heal. Time, as the cloud moves away, light will shine through eventually. And that all we need to do is wait. We're not going to go and disappear that cloud. We're not going to go and zap it out of the sky. We're just going to wait it out. And that time is a wonderful healer, that allowing for time itself and allowing for that person who is very volatile to come to terms with what's going on in their own lives, in their own timing, is very important. I'm trying to tune in to see if there's any other guidance that's coming through with this one. This card is really pushing us. I mean, this week we've been getting a lot of guidance to really up our game, up our reactions, really play the high card and not get engaged and embroiled in lower vibrations, words, actions, people. And so this one is just saying, if you want to go the higher route, if you want to go the best possible, highest route, non-engagement and allowing of time to heal, and just noticing the volatility, holding space for that person, and playing the, whatever you believe to be the highest act, the highest engagement, the highest form of engagement. And whatever that is to you, you will know, because your body will be calm. You will be able to sleep at night because you know you did the right thing for both yourself and the person involved. So this reading is about the fact that we are acknowledging that there is a person in your life who is incredibly imbalanced and unstable, and it's telling us to take the higher route, not engage, and to allow time, and to not only that, but to allow space for that person to come to terms with their own learning at their own time. That it's not our role to engage. And this one is very helpful to me, and I'm not sure who or what in your life this is going to be relevant for, but I know I trust 100% that the person listening to this right now also needs to hear this message. So, I'm going to take off the cards. Remove pin. There we go. All right. That was incredibly helpful for me. I am at the moment dealing with someone incredibly volatile, and this has been just the most perfect guidance in order for me to move forward in a way that doesn't create more karma, and allows me to stay above ground in higher vibrations and continue to be able to sleep at night. So I find this incredibly helpful. I wanted to focus on the cube card, and I suggest doing some meditations on what your higher self might be like. I've started to do that like maybe over a year ago, where I would just be in the car driving. This is when I do my meditation. When I would be in the car driving, or I'd be walking in the woods, and I would just tune in to that person that is Miriam at her highest level. What does that look like? What does that look like? Who is that person? Who does Miriam at her highest level hang out with? What does she talk about? You know, when in a challenging situation, what does Miriam at her highest level behave like? So here's my question for you. What do you at your highest level do? And that's going to look very different for every single person listening to this video. But I think it's an important thought to engage in, because once you start thinking that way, you start bridging that gap. So the Miriam now and the Miriam that I'm focusing on, higher level Miriam, that gap, that space between the two starts becoming smaller. And I find it to be a very healing type of meditation, or definitely worth your while. So there you go. That was the reading for today, and I want to thank all of you for listening. I did want to ask you guys, if you are benefiting from my readings every day, please do follow, because I do these every day, and that way they come up on your feed, and it also helps my algorithms, and my message is able to reach more people. Anyway, thank you so much. See you tomorrow.